sports fans, and thank you for listening to State of My Sports, where we talk about State of Michigan sports and State of Michigan beer. If you aren't following us on social media yet, please do so by searching State of MI Sports. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast along with our YouTube channel so you do not miss an episode. For even more content, check out our website, stateofmisports.com. Before we get into the episode, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. The Hops Brewing Company and Cafe is the official brewery of State of My Sports. Siciliano's Market helps us pick out the best Michigan beers for each and every episode. Also, Caleb from Mac Web Design helped us get our website created. So check out all of our sponsors and let them know that we sent you. All right. Thanks for checking out episode 96. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what we saw this past week for our football teams, some news out of basketball teams. And we're going to talk a little bit about our football, Michigan football as well. Talk Pistons. We're going to have mock draft 2.0, which is always a good time.
It's always fun.
I love me some mock drafts. You guys know that.
It's finally time, guys.
I figure with Kyle gone, we can do this without any pushback.
7 round?
7 rounds. Yep, all 7 of them.
Oh, sweet.
I need names. I need a breakdown of every single player.
Awesome.
So, big board. Ryan's big board.
I'm in.
We're also going to put Trav, so he's been 2-0 on his picks of the week so far, which is awesome. He's going to go for 3-0, and he's going to do a Michigan State game, so stay tuned for that. I am going to try to finally put together a winning parlay for my Wednesday parlay. Parlays are tough. Don't laugh too hard. It's not. I haven't seen you put any parlays together.
I just wouldn't do it. That's my advice on that one.
And then we will talk some Vegas odds with our Betting Hero segment. Of course, we'll grade some Michigan beers. I'm Sam Waltart. With me today, we got Micah Smith, Ryan Waltart, and John Dornboss working behind the scenes once again. Hey, I mean, how was your guys' week? Did you guys do anything fun? I feel like this was one of the most, not boring weekends, but I don't know. It just felt like it just went fast. Did you guys do anything that was really fun?
It was laid back for us.
Yeah.
You're talking like weekend because
we're week. I mean,
so last week Wednesday.
Yeah.
Last week Wednesday, I did one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Indoors. So my buddy from work and I, we drove about 4.5 hours to Cleveland, Ohio. Which, before you think it's a terrible idea, we went to an indoor mountain biking place. It's called Ray's Indoor Bike Park. And it was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
I really wanted to see pictures of it, and you said you didn't take any pictures.
I took 0 pictures. Yeah, there's all kinds of YouTube videos to like. So if you wanted to look it up, Ray's Indoor Bike Park, it's like 160,000 square feet of just like they have over a mile long trail that just winds all the way through their facility in different sections of their warehousing. It's amazing.
That's sweet.
So they just turn like an old Toys R Us into this place, like they do with all
it's
these
definitely
like,
a factory.
trampoline parks and stuff.
It's not that nice.
Way bigger than that.
It's way bigger, and you think that the ceiling might collapse and cave in on you. Like the building, it does not look good. But you get in there, and it's just completely laid back. Everybody's just in there to have a ton of fun.
That's cool.
Hit jumps and get shown up by a bunch of 11-year-olds, just like. hitting the big line, the XL line, and meanwhile I'm like struggling with the medium line, just don't fall. I only fell once.
Is it color coded?
Yeah,
like
so
the trails.
So there's like a green. They call it the green trail. You just follow the green trail all the way through the facility.
Okay.
And like I said, it's over a mile long from end to end. But then they have like skate park sections. They have jump trails. They have like little pump tracks. They have skills areas where they have like a little. You're basically just riding on a 2x4 and trying to stay up, and they have something for everybody.
Do you wear a helmet when you do this or no?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You seem like the kind of guy that doesn't wear a helmet.
No, you have to.
You do?
Yeah, you're required to. I would anyways. I'm not gonna mess myself up.
Okay, this sounds fun. Would someone that's not into mountain biking like it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cool thing is they have like I rented a bike. So first time it was like $25. It was
okay.
cheap.
So you didn't bring your own?
No, I didn't bring my own. I rented a bike, and it's a dirt jumper bike. So it has front fork on it, like suspension on the front wheel, but it doesn't have anything on the back wheel. So it's meant to be like that indoor type of feel, and you can pump your way through.
Huh.
Yeah, we could go Do you just want to do the whole podcast about this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
No, we do have
Mountain
mock
biking?
draft.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
And I know you're
right.
excited about that. So,
Just awesome experience. I loved it.
yeah. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you had fun. And you took a day off, which is good for you.
I did, yes.
And did you pay for it the next day?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm still sore. Like,
Yeah.
I can feel like little muscles in my neck that I had to use.
Didn't know were muscles. I haven't worked those in years.
Right. Only when I fell, I think I kind of messed up my neck a little bit.
How many times did you fall?
Just once.
Just one time?
Oh yeah, I saved it a bunch, and I got hurt more than once, but I just fell one time.
Yeah.
How many times would Sam and I fall?
You guys wouldn't fall at all, I don't think.
No,
because
I'd
you
be on the
wouldn't.
bunny hill.
Yeah, exactly. You take it easy.
Exactly. Well, we did have some sports, and there was actually a pretty good weekend for our basketball teams. I think it was important to talk about that. I mean, we're coming down to the wire. So Thursday, we'll talk a little Michigan here first. Thursday, they win against number 9 Iowa, then number 9 Iowa. They won 79-57. Another big blowout win against a top 10 team, which is awesome. Saturday, they won 73-57 at Indiana. They're currently live against Illinois, who moved up to number 4. They were a 7-point favorite going in. How's that one even looking right now? John, you got the score in front of you there. What are we looking at?
71-47 in favor of your Fighting Illini.
That's not
That's
pretty.
bad.
That is like, get it out of their system now, though, right? That's kind of the way I look at it. They weren't going to be perfect. Well, I guess they could have been. But anyways, it's a little bit of a humble experience for them. But all they got to do is win one of the next two against Michigan State, which is Thursday at home. And then Sunday they are at MSU. So if you win one of those, you lock it up. Or if Illinois happens to lose one of their final games, Michigan will be the Big Ten regular season champion.
Yep.
But really, it's that. And I've said this for a long time. I feel this way even when Michigan's winning the Big Ten at regular season. It doesn't move the needle for me. Winning like regular season championships doesn't do anything for me when it comes to basketball, at least.
Especially when you got a long postseason ahead of you.
Yeah,
if you do,
because you have the tournament. I personally would rather win the Big Ten tournament than the regular season. I've always felt like that was a better accomplishment for what college basketball is and what makes you a successful team. But I mean, we'll see. They're playing good, other than today, which
It's step one, though. You know, the regular season is step one going into something bigger. There are bigger goals in place.
yeah. Yep.
All right, so we'll talk a little bit Michigan State. Last week when we were recording on Tuesday, they beat the then number 5 Illinois Illini 81-72. That was a big win for them. Kind of got things
That was
rolling.
huge.
And a very good team. Illinois is a good team. They're proving it today.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that's a very important win for a team that's trying to make the tournament. But then they bounced back, or they duplicated their performance with a 71-67 win against then number 4 Ohio State, who's another very good team. I don't know if did they drop out of the top 10? Do you know that?
I think
Micah?
they had to have because they
lost again. I know, but
3
I mean,
times. They lost to Iowa too.
Either way, they're a really good team, and that's a good win for Michigan State's resume, who's trying to do anything they can to get in the board. After those 2 games, they were talking, hey, they'll be the last 4 in type thing. They were kind of falling in line. 11 or 12 seed is what I kept hearing. But then unfortunately on Sunday, they I don't even have that one on here. Or, no, I do. They lost 73-55 to an unranked Maryland team. So it was at Maryland, and that was I didn't get to watch a ton of it, but from what I saw, it was just their shooting it reminded me a lot of this Michigan game. They looked tired. They looked like everything was short, and it just wasn't good. And they started off down 11-0 and really never recovered. But I mean, does that kind of erase one of the big wins, or was it just kind of
No, I
part
don't
of the
think
game?
so. Yeah, I mean, because they had such a bad record and a bad streak there in December and January that, you know, we talked about it last week going into this. The big wins is what Michigan State needed. They needed to prove that they could win against high-ranked competition to move the needle come March.
Yeah, because a good win definitely outweighs a bad or mediocre loss.
Yeah, especially when
That
you're
is
fighting, when you're on the
important as
bubble.
important.
A
Yeah.
good win is definitely more important than that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. And then they're
And
playing
Maryland's
tonight.
not a bad loss. I mean, this is the Big Ten we're talking about. They're a good
Yep.
team.
Yeah, no, that's true. They're playing right now. I believe they started at 8, so they're probably right around halftime here soon. But I mean, I don't know if we know what the score of that one is. But they're currently playing Indiana, And that's a team that they're kind of fighting for
20
to get in.
26 at half.
26 to 26?
Yep.
Oh, really? At
26.
half? Ooh,
Yeah.
another low scoring
Yeah,
game.
and then Ohio State is ranked number 7.
Number 7. Thank you for clearing that up. So, I mean, this is a good game. Like, if they lose, it's not a terrible loss against Indiana here. But if you win, I mean, that's a team that you're fighting for, potentially, to get in. One of them might. They both might. There's still a chance of that as well. But it's another resume booster if you can win this game. And then they obviously end Thursday at number 2 Michigan. Sunday, they host number 2 Michigan. Well, we'll see where Michigan falls by then. But either way, they'll be number 2 at that point.
But
so,
if they pull this game off tonight against Indiana and then they win one of those games against
I
Michigan,
think that's
you're talking about 1, 2, 3. You're talking about 4 of their last 6, 3 of which
top 5.
in the top 10.
Yeah. No, that's a
Really top 5. 3
Yeah.
of which against
in the
wins against
moment.
the top
Yeah,
5.
exactly. No, those are good wins, and they won't be able to keep them out if you do that. They won't. Yeah, I think all they have to do is beat Michigan once, and obviously the tournament can change some stuff too. Like if
I'm with you on that.
if you can win a couple games, and then it looks a lot better as well. So it's still early, but it really looks like they're going to find their way into this tournament, unless the crap hits the fan completely. But we do want to introduce our beers, Ryan. Can you hit the beer intro read? It is time to introduce our Michigan beers for this episode, but before we do, I want to remind everyone of our partner, Siciliano's Market. They are simply the best beer store in West Michigan, located on Lake Michigan Drive, right between Grand Valley State University's main campus and downtown Grand Rapids. Wherever you live in West Michigan, it is worth the short drive for what they have to offer. Whether you know what you want or need some help from their expert staff, Siciliano's Market is the best place for that. They not only have a massive and up-to-date inventory of the best craft beers from across our great nation, they are individually priced so you can mix and match to build your own six-pack. They obviously have a great selection of craft beer. They also have specialty wines, spirits, ciders, coffee, tea, tobacco, and cigars. Siciliano's Market also has the largest selection of homebrew and winemaking supplies in West Michigan. We love that Siciliano's Market is part of the State of My Sports family, and it is who we visit to help us choose our Michigan beers for each and every episode. So please check them out and let them know that we sent you. Ryan, you want to start us off with your beer introduction?
Yeah, I hope I can read this because it's a white and yellow label.
Yeah,
Which
so
is
it's a
not good contrast if you're trying to read a white letter. But Elephant Juice from Eastern Market Brewing Company. Really cool. Nice.
You know anything about it or no?
No, that was just going to leave it at that. You want to talk more? All right, this is 7.2% alcohol. I'm trying to figure out where these guys are. It's a New England style IPA.
I think Eastern Market is downtown downtown Detroit. I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
If I remember from previous episodes.
Right,
yeah.
It's got Citra, Mosaic, Mandarina, and Bavaria hops.
Cool.
Yeah. Looks pretty malty too. Nice.
Mike, what are you drinking?
So I am drinking from Arvon tonight, the 2 times blackberry double kettle sour. And yeah, so you don't have to whisper that. It's really good.
I love. I think I'd say this I love their sour so much. And I love their IPAs, but when I know I could be drinking one of their sours
are different.
I'm like, I might choose a sour here.
So this one's a kettle sour loaded with the most blackberries that they have put in a beer, and it's an 8%er actually. So you get kind of a heavily fruit-packed beer with actually quite a bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
And it does not taste very alcoholic.
Yeah, no, you can trick people into getting drunk with something like that.
Well,
Not that we would ever do that. Not that we'd ever do that. But
it's kind of a good mix though because there's so much flavor. It's not like you're just going to down it really fast. So it's a really easy drinking thing, but then you also you feel it not after too many. It's a nice drink.
Yeah, so I'm drinking from Perrin Brewing Company. This is part of their Side Hustle series. It's called Hard Restart. So it's brewed with Sapphire and Nelson Sauvin hops. It says, expect this lager to have a moderate bitterness with notes of citrus and bright grape acidity. Oh, I said that word right. Wait till I say that wrong later on. And then on the aroma. So I probably should have stopped. I shouldn't have stopped myself. But this is
interrupted yourself.
It's an India
True
style pale lager, and we all know who brewed this, right? We all know who. Eric, old friend Eric from the Hops.
man.
I'm sure he brewed this. Is
sure.
probably his go-to. He loves doing those lagers. So obviously, Perrin Brewing Company. It's in Comstock Park, Michigan.
Yep.
So
It's
I mean,
kinda
really
hidden.
really cool can there too. What do they got? It's you can see it's like the power sign. Is that what that is?
Yeah,
That's
the
like
power
one
button.
of TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we're also all going to grade something else. Mike, do you want to do a quick introduction of
Absolutely.
what we're drinking
So,
here?
from Lost Art, they're here in Walker, just a kind of a stone's throw if you have an arm like Ryan. Lost Art, their milkshake series. It's a really cool can, and so I'm going to explain this really quick. So it's their first beer in the series, and they used a very special malt bill and conditioned it on Madagascar vanilla beans and added an abundant poundage of raspberries and lactose. The ending result was a well-balanced, thick and fluffy milkshake beer where none of the flavors overpowered the next.
Thick
beer
and
is-
poundage and good beer.
This beer is easy and enjoyable to drink from start to finish.
So
It should be on here somewhere. What
the percentage?
Yeah.
It's actually in the description, I think. There
Is it?
But if not, he messaged me, and we'll get that at the very end. Because
Yeah.
basically, this comes out on
Oh, there it is.
Thursday, I believe.
7.3%.
This is a new release.
Yeah, brand new release. I don't even think they're selling it yet because I don't think they're open on Tuesdays. But it's either Wednesday or Thursday that they're open and start selling these beers.
Awesome.
But I saw it on the Instagram, and I was like, dude, how can we get our hands on one of these before we start recording? And Brad, great guy at Lost Art.
I'm so
he's
happy for
hosted
them,
us.
too.
Yeah, they seem to be doing really good, and I like the way that they're doing it. It seems like they're kind of modeling a little bit after Arvon with like the limited releases and stuff like that, and like always a new beer. I think that's a really good way for these breweries to do that and start growing. You get the Mug Club members moving, like they turn into a lot. But
Are you
great,
a Mug Club member
great
there?
people. No, not yet. I probably should be. Once things are open 100%.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm, like he opened up this thing and then everything shut down. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, geez, like how do you
Yeah.
make your way through that? So I'm pumped for him, that we're getting back up closer to 100%.
Yeah, no.
It's at 100.
What are we at? 50% starting
50%
Friday,
soon, yeah.
right? Or Saturday, maybe. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, this
but,
weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So those are what we're drinking today as we record. But Ryan, you have a nice little read to do for DraftKings, right?
Sure do. So, guys, UFC 259 is this weekend and is sure to be action-packed with 3 title fights taking place in one night. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, is putting you in the center of this weekend's title fight with 100-1 odds on either fighter to land a punch during the title fight. So listen to this. Pick either main fighter to land a punch during this weekend's UFC 259 bout, and DraftKings Sportsbook will give you 100-1 odds. Just bet $1 on either fighter to land a punch, and if that happens, you will cash $100. There's no better way to put your MMA knowledge to the test than to put your money where your mouth is with DraftKings Sportsbook. Don't worry if MMA isn't for you. DraftKings Sportsbook offers great odds and promotions on basketball, hockey, and so much more. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sports app now and use promo code MIBETS when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 if either main event fighter lands a punch on Saturday. Place your bet and watch the fists fly this weekend. That's code MIBETS to turn $1 into $100 if either fighter lands a punch. For a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, in Michigan only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Son of a... He did it.
Just crushed
he did
it.
it. I mean, and that was supposed to be his punishment.
Just-
because he stood me up yesterday.
Just copy that and just plug it in.
He stood you up.
Yeah, we were supposed to record that last night.
Why
and
would I if I could just pull that off?
I know. I'm wondering if we're ever going to do that again. I feel like that's just on your plate here for moving forward. Or is that the case?
Yeah, deal.
Until you
give
don't
me
show
one
up,
deep-
and I'm
one-
like, oh crap!
just
it's
one
not
deep and we're all
pre-recorded. I just got to make sure you show up. That's the key. But anyways, we did want to talk a little bit about some Michigan football. There's some big news going around. Mike, I'm just going to hand the reins over to you here. I think we want to start with kind of Will Johnson, right?
Yeah, let's
and
start with
his
Will
commitment.
Johnson.
Like, can you tell us a little bit about
This is a big deal.
how big of a get this is, and we can kind of discuss it.
Well, we'll go strictly to his rankings. So he's the 11th best overall recruit nationally, 5th best cornerback, which is crazy. In that top 11 players,
Wow.
that there are that many corners. This is a corner-heavy, like top-end class.
That's really interesting. I want what would be the reason for that many good corners. Like
It just happens. I know defensive tackle has been kind of a tough position to recruit lately. Yeah, it's just
at least for Michigan.
Yeah, limited big bodies, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It just goes in these waves.
Yep.
yeah.
He's also the #1 player in Michigan.
So he's homegrown Michigan.
Homegrown. He's out of Grosse
That's
Pointe
pretty dang cool.
over near Detroit. And he's the son of Deion Johnson.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Why do
Deion Johnson played for
U
Michigan.
of M,
Did he?
baby.
Yep.
Okay. Was
Yep.
this the guy that was kind of leaning towards Michigan State? Or am I getting
No.
a little confused? Okay,
No,
sorry.
Will Johnson.
He's been.
he was offered everything under the sun.
Oh, really? So he was probably offered by Ohio State,
Yep.
Alabama.
So the last three
Georgia.
schools were Michigan, Ohio State, and
Yeah.
USC.
Yep.
USC. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow. Man, I would go there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, funny thing is earlier in their recruiting period, so I believe it's Will Johnson and Damani Jackson were thinking about teaming up as a tandem cornerback duo and committing wherever the other wanted to commit. Damani Jackson was down to basically Michigan, USC, and possibly Ohio State. I'd have to check, but he ended up going to USC
Okay.
a month or two ago.
Interesting.
And Will Johnson held off, and that was a good sign for Michigan. And sure enough, I think it was Mo Linguist who was the lead recruiter.
And
which
that's the
is
guy from Dallas, correct?
Dallas, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys old DB coach. He is putting a good hurting on the recruiting trail. So Will Johnson is a huge get as long as they can keep him and impress to a certain extent through the season, because that's the way it seems to go nowadays. If you're not impressive through the season, that following season, these kids are more likely to say, you know what, I don't care what a commitment means, but I'm gone.
Well, and it's not only that, is you got to make sure you have those coaches moving forward, because if you're committed to a coach that all of a sudden leaves, these guys can leave very, very quickly. So it's great to get these guys, especially in the way that this offseason was with all the question marks of Harbaugh and then all of a sudden these late hires and all that stuff. Like, that's awesome, but how do you keep them and how do you develop them is really the next step. And that's what I love the recruiting stuff, and I don't dive into it like you do, and I appreciate that you do because it gets me all warm and fuzzy on the inside. But if they can't start developing these guys into being true players, like in college, it seems like the good players on Michigan end up going to the pros and not doing anything for themselves, or the average players for Michigan, that guys that you don't expect to be absolute studs in the pros go out and be studs, and people forget what school they went to.
The best part of this, though, the best part of this is future recruits. If they're looking at big-time athletes and guys that they're looking up to right now that are committing to Michigan, that's going to make them feel comfortable committing to Michigan because they feel like the program's in good hands. They're in really good leadership, but also the players that are looking up to or respecting are also going to these schools, so they're not feeling like they're making an outlandish decision, something that's out of the norm. If he was to go to USC and people start turning down Michigan as they go, that's harder sell.
Yeah, for sure.
So the better you are at recruiting, the more great
it's like a
recruits you're
snowball.
going to get.
It's just a snowball.
It does,
effect. And
so this was a very important get.
And correct me if so the guy that came over from Dallas, I forget his name, the recruiter that you brought up.
Yeah, Mo Linguist.
Is he a secondary coach, or what is he doing in?
He's a co-defensive coordinator.
Co-defensive, okay, with the guy that was over from the Ravens.
Yep.
Okay, so it's kind of a tandem thing.
Yep.
But he's more of a secondary coach, correct?
That's
he's
what
he
was
at
coach.
Dallas.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Was there anything else about him that you were kind of excited about?
Not really.
No.
He's a strictly true athletic individual.
He's a Michigan man.
He is a Michigan man.
I like that.
He loves where his dad went to school, and I'm sure he was actually really weighing those last three schools. But in the end, Dad's school won.
Yeah, no, I like that. Some other news in Michigan.
Yeah. So on February 28th, Alan Bowman. Bowman or Bowman?
I'm pretty sure it's Bowman.
I would say Bowman.
Perfect.
I would say Bowman.
So from Texas
Hopefully
Tech.
we don't have to learn, right? But
Yeah. So grad transfer from Texas Tech.
You'll shoot my bow.
He decided to come to Michigan and try and play football in this depth chart that we got. So
so let's talk a little bit about his stats,
interesting
eye
way
test,
to say that,
and then kind of just how it affects the program at the end. Like if you want to just throw some numbers out there, or even the eye test, all that kind of stuff. Then at the end we can kind of discuss what we think about it.
Yep, for sure. So in 2018, he played 8 games, 327 attempts, 227 completions, threw for 2,600 yards, 17 touchdowns, 7 picks. 2019, he only played 3 games, threw for over 1,000 yards, though. 6 TDs, 3 interceptions, and 2020 played 8 games, threw for only 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, yet 7 picks.
Right.
I mean, his picks almost matched his touchdowns.
Interesting.
So
one thing important about him that people, I don't know if it was mentioned, but he is a grad transfer, so it's not like there's any delay. He's basically coming in and filling. He's a number. It feels like
he should be just a number.
This is something to watch. Because we have young, talented quarterbacks on this Michigan team, and for him to come in, what we don't know is what Harbaugh is thinking with this. Is he going to be the older upperclassman that he's going to rely on to start the season, or is he going to be the depth guy that just helps these young quarterbacks develop and learn playbooks and go through their cues, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if he's coming in to be the next Jake Rudock, I'm a little concerned. Like, I hope... Like,
me too. I don't want that situation.
Yeah. I was hoping that this was the year that... And I don't know if we want to... Let's just talk about that. Like, how we feel about this transfer. I don't want to say I hate it because I haven't watched the guy. I don't know the end game for him. But if he is coming in to truly compete with a J.J. McCarthy and Cade McNamara, like, that's not... I don't want another... Like, it's a reputation that Hartbaugh's getting is always bringing in something else. And I don't like that.
Grass
I
is
understand.
greener.
Yeah, exactly.
Senior leadership, all the bull crap that doesn't win in college football.
The man has a laundry list almost as long as the Cleveland Browns QBs.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting long real quick of transferring out. It's not a good look right now.
So all I can tell you is looking at this kid when he throws the football, he looks like his shoulder is tearing while he's shot putting a 4-pound football. Jeez. Like, I'm not to be mean or anything, but that's how
mean,
it looks.
But it's awesome. I want to get a look at
No,
this
I mean,
now.
like all of his power comes from his shoulder rotation. Like, just picture like his right to left shoulder rotation, and that's about as far as the football will go.
That's okay.
Not to be that mean, I guess, but that's just I hate the way he throws.
Yeah,
I don't like it. It was
a bad delivery.
It's got like the scheme quarterback written all over him from Texas Tech, and not necessarily a talented thrower of the ball, which I think we have a decent talent in Cade McNamara.
Yeah,
and I think we have a
100%.
really, really, really good talent in JJ.
Yeah.
I have enough trust in Jim Harbaugh to make the decision moving forward through this season, because I don't think that JJ's going to start unless injuries start coming about.
Yeah.
Okay, I do think it's going to be Cade's job in the end. I think Jim is going to commit to JJ. I think Jim understands what he has in JJ McCarthy. That kid is really special. Watching him do what he does, watching the stats he put up, it's incredible. And the most interesting thing to me is I looked up on mgofish.com. It's a recruiting coverage site for U of M football. The QB depth chart is Cade McNamara, Alan Bowman, J.J. McCarthy, Dan Villari. Okay. So, I think he's, it's like a too early depth chart. But being a number 2, he's only a number 2 because he's got that experience. Yeah. And you know that.
Yeah.
That his numbers don't show him being a number 2. Lack of experience.
Yeah. All right. No, I thought that was good. Ryan, you're ready to bring up some Pistons talk.
Yeah, I was going to bring up just kind of the state of the Detroit Pistons right now. So just to give you an update, right now the Pistons are 29th of 30 teams in the standings in the NBA. So they're second to last right now. They're only ahead of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, let's think about this for a little bit, because the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have a number 1 overall pick from last year in I don't remember his name.
Yeah,
Edwards,
okay,
right?
Yep, yeah.
So they have a number 1 overall pick there. They had a number 1 overall pick in Karl Anthony Towns from like 2017. Super talented big guy. They have a number 2 overall pick in dude who came over from Brooklyn.
Okay.
And was drafted by the Lakers. You guys aren't helping me out. You guys
know
Williams.
I don't
D.
remember
Will,
last time I
yeah.
watched. or the
D'Angelo Williams.
Okay.
So they have so many high-end draft picks. I just want everybody to, because I'm going to get into what the Pistons are missing and what they could get with this draft. High-end draft picks, everybody thinks that one draft pick will change your entire organization. It can in the NBA, but it doesn't more often than not. And this team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, are still last place. And in the last 5 years, they have 2 number 1 overall picks, a number 2 overall pick, and countless other lottery draft picks that just they don't work as a team.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the precursor to this whole thing. I think right now the Pistons have a solid core of forwards in Jeremy Grant, Sekou Doumbouya, Sadiq Bey, and Josh Jackson. I think they're lacking point guards. That's one of their biggest positions of need, and then also center depth. So they're young guys with the point guards, Saban Lee and Killian Hayes. Saban Lee's actually looked really good. Killian Hayes looked really bad, but he's injured right now, and he was our 7th overall pick this year.
Yeah.
They also got Dennis Smith Jr., who has been up and down so far in that trade with the Knicks.
Okay, that was the guy that came over for Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, exactly. And a second-round draft pick in
Okay.
that same trade. And then our center depth, I'm not going to put a Plumlee in there because he's just kind of a placeholder, but Isaiah Stewart's been a really good surprise. So I think we do have some depth to work with. Now, what the Pistons are missing is a superstar player that kind of combines the whole team, puts them on their shoulder, and that can put them over the top. And if they grow as a unit, this young core that we have mixed with a superstar talented player, I really think the Pistons have something in place with the toughness that they're showing, the athletic and length that they have on defense, and then their shooting has really been better than anybody's expected up until this point.
Yeah.
So with that said, I wanted to get into the 5 options because this draft coming up, we have the Detroit Pistons. If they finish, the worst they can finish is the 6th overall pick if they're second to last.
Yeah, where they're sitting at real quick. So for the first overall pick, you have 14% odd. 14%. Second overall pick, 13.4. Third overall pick, 12.7. Fourth overall pick, 12%. Fifth overall pick, 27.8. And then sixth overall pick, 20%. But, I mean, yeah, so you can take it from there.
Yeah,
that's
so,
kind of where we're sitting.
So
there.
odds are, we're not going to get the first overall pick. Even if we're the worst team in the NBA, odds are we have the same odds as number 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And they're low odds. So odds are that Detroit will not have the number 1 overall pick. So I want to give a little bracket of where everybody's thinking these most talented players are. Mm-hmm. And with this draft class, it's a really deep draft class, but there are 5 players that have separated themselves, and it's not even close. It's like a tier A and then a tier D.
Okay. Yeah. So it's that big of a drop-off.
It's a huge drop-off.
I mean, would you compare it to last year's draft? Like, that was probably the top pick was probably more of a B.
I think
is that fair?
I think Anthony Edwards, who went to the Timberwolves last year, is number 1.
Yeah.
I think the highest he could have gone is 6 in this year's draft.
So all of these guys are better than that
all
pick
of these guys,
in your opinion,
hands down. Everybody would. He
That's
could have
really
been
exciting.
10. Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah. So the expected number 1 overall pick for next year's draft right now is Cade Cunningham. He's 19 years old, 6'8" point guard, 220 pounds, out of Oklahoma State. Okay, he's averaging at Oklahoma State in college right now. He's averaging as a freshman 19.8 points, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shooting 45% from the field and 43% from 3-pointers.
Yes, please.
So he's got
That sounds
a
awesome.
7-foot wingspan. So he's got the makeup of a Ben Simmons, but is a pure shooter. He's a great shooter.
Very nice. Yeah.
The downside with him right now is that he's not an explosive athlete. He has no real quick twitch muscles, but he has elite vision. He's a playmaker. He's got that kind of point forward type of feel, like a LeBron or one of those bigger bodies that just runs the team. And he would do that from the point guard position, but at 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. And he's a great leader. He's a gamer. He's really the clear number 1 overall pick for everybody in this draft, and he's known among GMs. They're thinking that this is an organizational changer.
Yeah.
So what I said earlier about like they have the potential. One player does have the potential to change your organization. This is the guy that they're looking for to make that happen.
Nowhere near like a LeBron James type game changer, right?
No, he doesn't have the athletic ability of that, but he has far superior shooting skills.
So I guess the way that I would want to explain this is usually when you're in a top top first overall pick, you have absolutely nothing. And then you get this player like LeBron James, and you're decent. Pistons have a lot of building blocks that would fit a guy that's not the LeBron James type stature. Obviously, you'd rather have a LeBron James guy or the game changer in that way.
Yeah.
But like, he's a good fit for what this team needs because you already have complementary pieces already there.
Right.
It seems like, at least.
Right, exactly. And I really want to have a team that grows together.
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of a player that's really, really good just to get more draft picks because that's not how basketball works.
Yep.
When they're in their prime, if you have guys who are in their prime winning games at age 30 to 35, that's like those are the best teams that just outsmart, that just know how to play more than the others. So I don't want to get rid of our established players like a Jeremy Grant. All right, moving on. The second guy I have is Jalen Green. He's 19 years old. He's 6'6". He's a shooting guard, 180 pounds. He is playing right now in the G League Ignite. So he's playing in the G League.
So he was one of those guys that,
and he's playing on Team Ignite.
Okay. And that's with some other talented players.
It is, yeah. And other guys that you'll see on this list. Jonathan Kuminga is another one. They have Isaiah Todd, who came away from. He was supposed to go to Michigan. He went to the G League
Michigan
Ignite.
or G League.
Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know G League Ignite, this segment could go way long. Just cut me off when you need to. G League Ignite is a professional team below the NBA, and they recruited like 4 of the best young, talented high school players. Instead of going to college, they went to this team, and they got paid something like $150,000 to train, and that's all they do. They're not going to school. They just train basketball. They play against professional competition, and they learn the game from an established coach like Brian Shaw, who's an NBA coach.
That's the right way.
This is going to change.
This is
going to change college basketball. I really believe it. So, anyways, Jalen Green, 19 years old again. He's 6'6". He's a skinny body, but he has the movements and explosiveness of Michael Jordan. I just gotta say it. Like I have not seen
Who is
somebody.
This one? Sorry,
Jalen Green, number 2 on the list.
I like this.
When he is in the air, he has leaping ability like I haven't seen in a really long time. His high school highlight video is insane. And while he's in the air, he just glides through the air. He's like a smooth gliding prospect that, like, I don't know. You think of like the Kobe's and the Jordans.
Yep. It's just,
I'm thinking more of a Jordan-esque type of glide. He is averaging in the G League right now 17.4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting close to 50% and shooting 38% from threes.
That's against professional basketball players.
It is.
A league that's probably third in the NBA, or it's third to the NBA. So it's probably like you have the NBA.
There's probably a European
you have a
team
European team, like leagues that people love, but then G League is developing. This is big for it, and you're playing against good players.
Yeah,
I mean,
G League's
Jordan
legit.
Poole's in the G League. You got a lot of players that were very good in college that are in this league.
And I just think like people compare him to Zach LaVine because if you don't know, Zach LaVine is a point guard.
Yeah,
point guard for the Bulls.
Okay.
He's an amazing athlete. He's getting better as a basketball player. He's like averaging close to 30 points a game right now in the NBA. But he's not that. To me, he's not that kind of. He has that kind of leaping ability, but he moves like Jordan.
Okay.
So I mean, it's exciting. Next guy I'll bring up, Jalen Suggs, 19 years old. He's the point guard from Gonzaga, 6'4", 205 pounds. He is as far as like quick twitch and explosive athletes on the court, he is the guy that you cannot stay in front of if you're playing defense. He is always he has the misdirection to just throw people completely off of him. Like I watched a game with him and Jalen Green in high school, and he got to the basket whenever he wanted past him. So he is like the creative ball handling wizard on the best team in college basketball right now, even over Michigan. Gonzaga is insane, and he's the best player in that team and runs the show on that team. He's averaging 14 points, 5.5 rebounds as a point guard, 4.5 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 33% from threes.
Take that.
He's impressive, and they, he doesn't play the fourth quarter or the second half of the second half.
Yeah, second half of the
last 10 minutes of the second
game.
half.
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, that's true. But he doesn't play because they're always dominating.
Okay.
So that I think that 14 points is a little misleading too. He He is an extreme athlete, and he's also a football player.
Oh, really?
He has background as a quarterback in high school. He has amazing court vision. He makes great decisions. I honestly can't, like, if we had the number 1 pick, I wouldn't even want Cade Cunningham because I feel like picks 2, 3, 4, and 5 might have higher upside than the guy who everybody thinks will change organizations.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, this draft is really, it's hard to even know what you want.
Yeah.
Because there's so high upside in all of these guys.
That's what's great about where the Pistons are at. It's like you can go anywhere, position-wise, and you can upgrade or you can get a guy that's going to be a starter right away. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Next guy, Jonathan Kuminga. He's 18 years old. He actually reclassified to get to the G League Ignite 1 year early.
Oh, really?
He's 6'8", 225 pounds. He is NBA ready as far as his body is concerned.
Yeah.
And he's playing on the same team as Jalen Green on the Ignite. What he has that Jalen Green doesn't is creative offensive ability. Jalen Green relies almost 100% on his athletic ability this around right now and his finishing ability. Kuminga is creative with the ball. He has great footwork. He has kind of that Kobe, maybe like a Paul George type of shooting ability.
Okay.
And he, like with the back to his when he has his back to the basket, he knows how to finish. He reacts to the defender. He's great. And again, he's only 18 years old. He's 6'8", 225 pounds. He's averaging over 16 points a game, 7 rebounds, almost 3 assists, 40% shooting, and 25% three-point shooting. So he will work on his shooting. I think it'll come. I think he's a superstar in the making. He has huge upside, and I would compare him to a Paul George.
All right.
Next guy, Evan Mobley. He's 7 feet tall, 7'5" wingspan. And he has guard-like skills. He is skinny as a rail. He's only 210 pounds, but he can shoot. He can dribble. He takes people off the dribble from the three-point line at 7 feet, and he has maybe like Anthony Davis type of upside.
So like
an
athletic big man? Is that
who sees the floor and isn't even involved in his?
Is he a center?
He's a center at USC right now. Yeah, freshman at USC. And again, 7 feet, 210 pounds. You know, he weighs just as much as Jalen Suggs at 6'4".
Wow.
So I think if Jalen Suggs was backing him down, I think he'd probably take him.
Okay.
Yeah. So he is thin, but he has great instincts, great scoring ability, and the upside for him is if his body fills out at all, you know, he could end up being like a Kevin Durant type with those kind of basketball skills, or he could be an Anthony Davis type where he's the center who can play away from the basket.
I mean, would a poor man's Chris Bosh be like kind of his floor? Is that fair, or is it? Or am I?
No, I think you're on the right track. I think he's less aggressive offensively as Chris Bosh was coming out of college.
Yeah.
But he has more guard-like ability.
Okay.
So it's
better
a good comparison.
vision, better passer type stuff.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely. Better playmaker overall.
Tangibles.
But Bosh was a great player.
Yeah, for sure. No, I like that. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this season unfolds because the Pistons are playing pretty good basketball. And they might sneak into a couple victories. But then even after they did that, you're like, man, they're still second. Second to the worst, I should say. And that's important. It is.
There's a lot of parity in the NBA right now.
Good draft pick here.
Yeah. But again, if you're in the top 5, somewhere in the top 5, you're gonna get an amazing athlete. You're gonna get a organizational type of upside player.
And it's not the worst year to lose the lottery, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it'd be great to win the lottery, but then you're gonna be pressured maybe to take a Cade Cunningham because that's what everybody's expecting. Where he might not be the better fit for what you already have.
And if you're talking upside, I think 2 through 5 have actually a higher upside than Cade Cunningham at number 1.
Yeah.
But Cade Cunningham is the sure bet. Like he would come in and potentially be an all-star from the get-go.
Awesome. So we do have our mock draft. Are you guys ready to do the mock draft? Ryan, can you hit the mock draft music? It's the NFL Live one. I probably should explain that to you beforehand. There we go.
Nice.
And then we
I'm curious on how long I just went there. Way too long?
No, I don't. You know I don't care about length. You guys are the ones that usually care about length. Well, Kyle usually cares about length.
I care.
He's not here, so.
Doesn't your wife care about length?
No, thank you.
She stopped caring a long time ago.
She stopped caring about 10 years ago. But anyways, we're going to do mock draft 2.0. So for the people that missed mock draft 1.0, what we did, we find a mock draft, we dissect it, we do the picks, and we all decide on who we want in that situation that's on the board. And I'm not going to tell you whose draft this is, because it gets a little fishy. So I'm going to kind of put you guys on the spot. But anyways, we'll start with what's going on here. Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock, and their pick is in, Ryan. And they reach for Zach. Nope, I'm just kidding. They took Trevor Lawrence, quarterback out of Clemson. It's obviously going to happen. No questions here.
I can't wait till that doesn't happen. That'd be the funniest
That
moment.
would be pretty crazy. Everybody's kind of on.
How many trade requests would come to the Jets at that point? It would be nuts.
That would be awesome.
It'd be great to see.
All right, but here we are, the number 2 overall pick. The New York Jets are on the clock, and their pick is not in because they have a trade. I don't know if I told you guys this has trades or not.
He found a trade draft.
I found a trade draft. So Atlanta moves up to get the number 2 overall pick, and they took a quarterback. So,
I know
all right,
who
this
they
is
took.
they basically this is how the person explains it. All right, Zach Wilson. The Atlanta Falcons take Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU. This is the Falcons' chance to reboot. Matt Ryan has started. No, we don't need to get into that, do we? You guys want to get?
No, let's move on.
Anyways,
It's a logical choice.
This mock draft, who I haven't told you guys who it's for yet.
It's either McShay or it's Kuiper.
But anyways, he basically explained this trade to be similar to when Chicago gave up the number 3 overall pick, 67 and 111 in a third rounder for the following season. That's about the package that he expects to be given up here for Atlanta to move up to number 2. So Miami Dolphins.
It's a great trade for the Jets, by the way.
Miami Dolphins are on the clock. This is a pick that they got from Houston. Devontae Smith, wide receiver out of Alabama.
Bummer.
So now the New York Jets are on the clock from the trade from Atlanta, who moved up from 4 to 2. And their pick's in. You can do the music too. Redo the music. Thank you. And they select Kyle Pitts, tight end out of Florida.
That's ridiculous.
This draft is getting interesting,
This
though.
got to
right?
be a Kuiper draft.
This is getting interesting.
This is
I
a
gotta
Kuiper
love
draft.
it.
That was my guess.
You gotta
It
love
is.
it. All right, 5th. Cincinnati Bengals, they are on the clock, and their pick is in.
If they don't go offensive line,
Offensive tackle out of Oregon,
Yeah.
Penei Sewell.
They will.
So now the
If he's there, they'll
Philadelphia-
take him.
Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock, and they select wide receiver out of LSU, Jamar Chase.
Ooh.
He is on the clock. All right, and here we are at number 7. So who is on the board? We got Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Micah Parsons, Jalen Waddle, Rashawn Slater, Gregory Rousseau. It's a lot of talent on that board here. Ryan, who would you take in this situation? And if we have anybody watching, let us know who you would take out of those. What did I name? 6 players, 7 players? I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean,
Who would you guys take?
if you really believe, in your quarterback situation right now, then you do not take Justin Fields. If you don't believe it, you have to take a talent, in my opinion, like Justin Fields. I think he's been the 1 to 1A quarterback with Lawrence this entire time through high school,
I
through
missed
college. I'm talking about Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. You would take Justin Fields?
No, I'm just saying, like, you would have to in that situation if you don't believe in your quarterback situation. However, I think right now with the Lions, if you're rebuilding and you're trying to establish something with your coaching staff right now, you either have to go Micah Parsons or Jada Waddle. My pick is in. I'm trading if I can, but I think I'm swapping. I'm going Micah Parsons.
Parsons. Oh, that's a switch from last year. So or last week. So all right, I should actually go back. When we did mock draft 1.0, the Lions made their pick at 7, and they had Gregory Rousseau, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Micah Parsons, and Jalen Waddle on the board. Kyle and I took Micah Parsons. Micah and Ryan took Jalen Waddle.
I'd switch again. I'd take Jalen Waddle.
During
again.
the segment, we took the poll from our Facebook listeners, which we're hoping to do now. So hopefully we're getting some comments and stuff. But basically, our pick as a podcast here with all of our votes, all of our listeners' votes in the moment, we took Jalen Waddle. So that's who we took at 7 here. And he is still available. Ryan changed his tune a little bit of a tune changer.
I'm going Waddle.
Which is fine. He's taking Micah Parsons.
I'm going Waddle.
What?
You switched?
Yeah, I switched again. Sorry.
You switched back?
I switched back. Is I allowed to do that or what?
I mean, you were still kind of on the clock, but no, you already made your pick.
When Roger Goodell comes to the podium, he doesn't just get to switch it.
Yeah, but I just interrupted what he was saying and I switched it.
Oh.
I did a little switcheroo there.
I think you
John,
really
is that
upset
legal? Is that legal? Can
Mr.
he do
Goodell.
that, John?
I think he wrote his vote with a magic marker.
So we're saying he's stuck with Parsons.
With every magic marker, there's a magic eraser.
The man said it. I won't edit.
All right, so you're sticking with Parsons. Sorry, Ryan.
Whatever.
But you're just happy that you got both on the.
I like both of them.
For the record, you have both.
I'm going to trade down and get Parsons.
For the Detroit Lions.
My pick is in. Make no mistake about it, Jalen Waddle. Come on.
Waddle. He's sticking with the Waddle.
That's a great pick. That's better than my pick.
Yeah.
Look, I've been saying it from early on. My pick's in.
Crush it.
For now, I'm going to stick with Parsons. I think that's the right fit for the Lions. John, do you want to get in on this? Who do you think the Lions should take here?
I wanted the Lions to trade Jared Goff and some picks to Houston for Deshaun Watson.
It'd be nice. That'd be nice.
So I wouldn't hate a Justin Fields pick at this point. I really
Fields,
wouldn't.
really?
I wouldn't have another quarterback on the depth chart. I wouldn't hate it.
All right, that's his pick. He's new, so he didn't do the pick is in for the sounder and all that stuff. But it's okay. It's okay. We're not gonna. You're all right, man. No.
That's all right. Sometimes
right.
Sam defies his own rules too.
So the trade is in. I just did that to tease you guys. Lions are making their pick here.
That's what I wanted.
The trade is in. The San Francisco 49ers shake up the draft. This is another trade, and this one could cost the 49ers a lot of capital, is what this person says. It's tough to project the exact details, but moving up 5 spots in a talented quarterback class means there will be competition. We can look to the Mitchell Trubisky trade as a comp, but another could be the Steelers move up for Devin Bush in 2019, where they jumped 10 spots with the Broncos and had to give up number 20 and number 52, plus a third-round pick the following year. Yes, it's 10 spots, but the Lions should expect a similar return. That would mean Ryan should restart the music. That would mean they'd get pick 12 from the 49ers, a second-rounder this year, and a future pick. Though San Francisco doesn't have a third selection because of its trade for Trent Williams last year, I wouldn't be shocked, though, if the 49ers had to give up their 2022 first-round pick to get it done. Holy moly.
I did not follow that.
I just went to 6 to midnight. So basically they're saying
that was so long.
they're getting number 12, the second rounder, which will be, I think, around 46.
That's amazing already.
And then a possible first round pick next year.
See, that's are you kidding me? In the first round to go from 7 to 12, right? 11,
awesome.
11, 12
would be awesome.
I mean, yeah, to get that kind of return, that is something that helps. Like, you look at what the Dolphins are doing right now with all of their picks and where they were last year. That's what the Lions could do if they can find a buyer to sell down.
So,
Trade down.
San Francisco's pick is in.
Same thing.
They take Justin Fields, quarterback out of Ohio State. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with not taking him there. But anyways, Carolina Panthers are on the board. Their pick's in. Another quarterback is off the board. That's what, number 4?
5.
5?
No, because Trey Lance is still on the board.
Is still
That's
there.
4, yeah.
He's next. Mac Jones,
That's what I thought you were saying.
quarterback out of Alabama. You guys probably know who's draft this
This
is.
is Kuipers.
Anyways, New England Patriots trade with the Denver Broncos to get quarterback Trey Lance, quarterback out of North Dakota State. This is getting crazy, people. Number 10, Dallas Cowboys. Their pick is in.
Can I just not do it from now on until it's a Lions pick?
No, I like it. Gives me a chance to think. Patrick Surtain, the second cornerback out of Alabama. New York Giants
good
are on the
pick.
clock. Right before the Lions, number 11, wide receiver, Jalen Waddle
Ooh,
out of Alabama.
that's
Just
rough.
missed him. Just missed him.
There's
So
somebody
here
on the
we are
board,
again.
though.
Here we are again. The Lions are on the clock. And who's on the board? You got Rashawn Slater, Micah Parsons, Kadarius Toney, Gregory Rousseau, Trevin Morig is a safety out of TCU. Obviously, I'm going to stick with Parsons. That's my guy. That's my guy at 7. That's my guy at 12 in this scenario. Although it's going to be very uncomfortable for the people that I'm with because I am going to be very excited about getting Parsons at 12. But also with everything else that you got along with this trade, this is my go-to. So, Ryan,
Yeah, I
in
mean,
this scenario,
you have to go Parsons here. I mean, at 12 to still get the guy, the position that you have the least amount of depth at this point. You need a playmaker. He offers that kind of upside. It's a no-brainer. It really is. Slater, yeah, Parsons is. Slater is interesting because I think he's good. He's better than people think he is.
yeah,
And they're talking about him potentially being a guard because he has short arms. Whatever the case is, he's been dominant on the outside as a tackle. If he moves into guard, either way, I think he really would be an offensive line changing type of talent. So I think that's a little underrated at this point, and whoever he goes to will be really satisfied with how good he really is. But I think you have to work on the defense. We saw the franchise worst defense last year. So address that. First round pick. I love it.
Micah. Also, if you had comments from listeners, I missed it to begin with, and I apologize for
No,
that.
you're good.
On the original pick. I failed both of those. Man,
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. Because my
Go
pick
ahead.
is in. It's
I love that sound.
it's Micah Parsons.
Parsons.
Yeah. I mean, given this whole trade scenario, that is absolute best case scenario, and it's a phenomenal get. It is. All the picks. It's
Yeah.
great.
It is a steal. John, you're here. You're on the clock, and you got to say your picks in this time. When you're ready. No, don't play it for him without.
Well,
wanted
I'm going to go with Micah Parsons as well, and then I'll even split half the bill for Micah to buy his jersey and just put the first name on it. You know,
Oh, that'd be awesome. Just
Yeah.
Micah.
Micah.
That'd be
Not
sweet.
happening.
That'd be awesome.
Will you
On a
become
Lions jersey, that'd
Will
be
you
great.
become a Lions fan if
No.
this trade? No.
No, I don't even know what your question is, but no, it's not happening.
Will you become a Jared
I
Goff
love
fan?
you guys. No.
Can
I'll probably hate Jared Goff.
Can I just get you a Packers jersey without the stitch lettering that says Micah on it?
When the Packers
Sure.
when the Packers move on from Aaron Rodgers, will your fandom be up for sale?
No. Are
Okay.
you nuts?
I don't know. It happened with Favre. That was fun.
Oh
So.
my gosh.
It
Get
did.
out of here.
It
He is
did.
always
No,
brings
it
it up.
didn't.
It did.
Do we have
No,
anything
it
else to
didn't.
talk about, or what?
Anyways, that
Ah.
is the draft. But do you guys want me to read what Kuiper said? This is Kuiper's.
We got it.
His yeah, you were right
Yeah.
on. All right, so here he goes. He took his
Crazy
pick's in.
Kuiper.
Kuiper's pick is in. Lions select linebacker out of Penn State, Micah Parsons. With the Lions moving down in the mock draft with the 49ers, that takes them out of the quarterback race, but it gives them extra draft capital. Jared Goff is going to remain on their roster in 2021 because of his salary, but he might not be the long-term solution. And I don't expect Detroit to improve next season, which means it could have another valuable pick, plus the Rams' first-round picks in 2022 and 2020. Oh, I forget how awesome that is. The Lions allowed 6.3 yards per play under former coach Matt Patricia last season, which ranked last in the league. They need help on defense. Parsons is a versatile linebacker with some pass rush upside.
If Parsons was a defensive end where he played in high school, he might be the top defensive end in this class. Like, he has that
Yeah.
kind of athletic ability.
That's good to hear. So here we go. We'll move down a little bit and give Mike a little bone here. Los Angeles Chargers took Rashawn Slater. Minnesota Vikings took something called Elijah Vera Tucker. Denver
Vera Tucker?
Broncos took Caleb Farley. Arizona Cardinals took J.C. Horn. Las Vegas Raiders took Trayvon Moring. This is awful for me.
All right, Sam,
Miami Dolphins.
your homework
What?
next time is to just do
Learn the
some
words.
like
How do I
NFL
learn
draft.
words?
NFL draft. Just go on YouTube.
Going through names.
Look at NFL draft anything, and people will teach you how to pronounce their names. Number one, but number two, you need to get familiar with these guys.
I do.
You really do. You got to feel like you know what you're talking about when it comes to this later on. I'm not calling you out
I
or
did
anything.
feel that until you just called me out and told me that I didn't.
No, so what I'm saying is like late first round, because late first
Yeah,
rounders
yeah.
will fall to second round.
No,
and that's what we want.
I should be
Right.
ready. Yeah. All right. Thanks for that.
Sorry.
Miami Dolphins took
Jeez.
Jeremiah Owasu Koramaho.
That's not. That's no.
It's close enough.
You just rattling off sounds now.
Washington football team took Christian Darisaw.
I think they're
nice.
getting a new name.
Chicago Bears took Kadarius Toney, who's the wide receiver.
Wide receiver, Florida.
Indianapolis Colts. So I thought this one was really interesting. Indianapolis Colts select Gregory Rousseau at 21. I cannot believe he fell that far, being the top DE, right? I think people were saying
Yeah,
that.
it's him or Quiddy Pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quiddy.
Tennessee Titans took Jalen Phillips, who was also a DE out of Miami. New York Jets, which is a trade from Seattle, they took Quiddy Pay. So a couple DEs going here.
Three in a
Steelers
row.
took Landon Dickerson. Jacksonville Jags took Christian Barmore. Cleveland Browns, Zaven Collins. Baltimore Ravens, Terrace Marshall Jr. You want to say that?
No, go ahead.
Saints took Jason Away, a DE out of Penn State. And the Green Bay Packers are on the clock. And their pick is in.
Probably another QB.
Yeah, they take
Running back.
Wait, who is this guy? Nobody knows. Who's this quarterback?
Is it really
Quarterback
quarterback?
No.
Oh.
They took outside linebacker / DE out of Washington, Joe Tryon.
Great.
You like it?
No. Not really.
He's got
It's
a second.
not an
He's
offensive
got a
player.
second round grade. Yeah, I don't mind. I think it's not bad for them to stock up on that position, but there's better talent.
That's hard to say because besides the drops, the wideouts didn't struggle too bad. They actually had a decent season, and that was without Funchess, and they get Funchess back this year as long as he doesn't opt out. So I don't think, based on the production, you don't necessarily need to go wide receiver first round. I really don't
Wait,
think
did they
so.
go wide receiver? I thought he said defensive end.
Right. What I'm saying is, hypothetically, they don't need to go
yeah.
offensive like with the production that they had last year, and they
Yeah.
get Funchess, and they
So-
may may go through free agency for another offensive weapon. I don't know.
Some teams are doing have the strategy right now of going with wide receiver later in the draft, just like running backs, because every single draft class, everybody wants to be a wide receiver. So every draft class right now is so deep. You can get a
Right.
4th, 5th round talent and have a legitimate weapon. And
Yeah.
you look at Nico Collins. Nico Collins is a really good.
He's going to be
he's a
huge
weapon.
for someone.
He's a weapon out of
Mid-second
Michigan,
round?
and he's maybe a 3rd round pick at this point.
Right.
Maybe 4th.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you could get really good depth, or you could get really good potential players out of your wide receivers.
Look at what the Browns did. They picked
Yeah.
up DPJ, and he's tearing it up.
Yeah, exactly.
What
You
was
just-
he,
you get a
5th
good,
round?
You get a good athlete.
Yeah, 4th or 5th, I
you
think. Yeah,
scheme them
somewhere in there.
open, and you get touchdowns out of that.
Nice. So, Ryan, can you explain to our listeners a little bit about Betting Hero?
Yeah.
I'm punishing you
Dude,
today.
you-
I'm not happy with you.
You got this. It was so late last night. Anyways, all right,
It
Betting
wasn't
Hero.
that late.
guys.
It was like 9 o'clock.
All right, it was
when
9
I
o'clock.
texted
I
you.
finally had a night to go to sleep early. I took advantage of it. So, Betting Hero, though.
You said
the
you accidentally fell asleep
the
earlier. But
coolest
maybe you did it on
thing I
purpose.
did. The coolest thing about Betting Hero is that they do the work for you when you're talking about sports betting apps. So if you have an account on Betting Hero, what they do is everything that is available in the state of Michigan for sports betting, they will lay out every single app that you have availability to. They will give you the best promo code for each one of those apps, and they will allow you to take advantage of every single opportunity that you have for each of those using their bettinghero.com app. So they want to take all the guesswork out of it for you. If you have a specific game, you can use each one of the competitors and get the
Different
best
lines, yeah.
get the best line available at that time, and use the best promo code available at that time, and bet on the game that you really feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm doing. Is like I mean all of these different. It's so important to have an account with all of them. I think because they all have different promos. They all have different bets. Like they're like DraftKings. So they have that one where.
If anybody lands
you bet
a
$1,
punch.
you lay in a punch, you win $100. These are legitimate things, and all of these different like betting sites are doing their own special ones. Like I had one on MGM that was Michigan plus, I think it was 82. I got Michigan plus 82 or something like that. That might have been FanDuel. I guess it doesn't matter, but it's like all of those opportunities are there, so it's important to have an account with all of them. Go to bettinghero.com, sign up with our promo code MIBETS, and have an account through them, and then you can just hit play now on whatever one's going on and put some money into each account, and it's a really good way to do it. I know I'm taking advantage of it.
And we promise you guys this is not something that is just a one-and-done opportunity with these promo codes. This is something that will be reoccurring as you have the app. So it's not one and done. It's not like you're going to deposit $500, get $500, and then they're just going to forget about you. They will keep giving you promo codes to take advantage of as you go.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's not just DraftKings. It's not just FanDuel. It's also the local Michigan casinos and opportunities that you have. Every single one of those is listed on Betting Hero. That makes them the only resource that you need to go to lay all of your options out for you.
Exactly. You got William Hill, who's connected to so many of the casinos here in Michigan as well. So, I mean, it's a really cool website, and we just ask you guys, if you're interested in supporting us, that is how we ask you to do it.
Promo code MIBETS.
Exactly. It supports them. It supports us. It supports local. And Betting Hero is a local company, too, that is going across the country. So they're founded here in Rockford, Michigan, which is awesome. Go back a few episodes. You can we had them on, and it was awesome. It was a really good time. So, I mean, everybody's looking to get their money's worth here with March Madness coming up. So I recommend Betting Hero. And to everybody, I guess.
It's truly as easy as it sounds, too.
It really is.
They bring all of them together for you. You don't have to search 100 different websites for all the different promotions and stuff that they're running.
Yeah, and one thing that's really cool is I signed up, and I haven't gotten any spam emails. Usually when you sign up for stuff like this, you get just...
That's so true.
You get like 6 or 7 emails a day.
That's a big win.
I haven't gotten one. I don't know if you guys have, but I appreciate that a lot. But anyways,
quick update before you get into anything else. We have Indiana versus Michigan State.
Yeah.
Indiana with 5 minutes left has a 1-point lead, 49-48 in that game.
That's a close game. We'll keep an eye on that one and keep our Facebook Live watchers updated if you could. But anyways, I wanted to give Trav's pick of the week. So he said he's going to stay with the over-under here. He said maybe next week he'll touch on some spreads, but he has some stats. And then I'm going to try to read what he sent to me. He said Michigan has scored 70 or more in 16 of the last 18 coming into today, by the way. 16 of the last 18 games. But less than 80 in 6 of the last 7 wins. In 8 of MSU's 10 losses, they haven't hit the 65-point mark, which is interesting. He said Michigan's last 10 wins, they have only allowed over 70 points once, and that was against the high-scoring OSU team. That being said, if Michigan wins, which they should, then Michigan State shouldn't hit 65. He thinks the over-under will end up somewhere around 140, figuring the spread will come in somewhere around 10 points. That might go down based on what Michigan did today. But, I mean, the option to score 75 and still be under is perfect, and that's where he wants to be. He said if that trend continues, being below 65 points in a loss, I mean, this is perfect. Therefore, he says he loves the under at 139 or more, but will nervously take the over at 138. So keep an eye on all the lines. Again, use bettinghero.com. Sign up for all these different websites. You can find different over-unders, all that stuff. He really likes it. If it's below 140, or sorry, above 140, take the under for sure. But if it goes any lower than that, which isn't out yet, just be cautious and maybe not stick to it. So I'm going to give out my Wednesday parlay. I have the Avs -1.5 against the Sharks. Avs are the much better team, And if they get that empty netter, that is the key to NHL betting. If you want to take the spread, that's where it comes in. But this is what's important with this parlay. So Avs -1.5, you got the Hawks to beat the Magic, you got the Lakers to beat the Kings, and USC to beat Stanford. That's kind of where I'm sticking my Wednesday parlay. I know the Hawks one is a little questionable, but it might be a decent, might help out with the overall payout. But the 4-game parlay, Avs -1.5, Hawks win, Lakers win, USC win. That's where I'm rolling. But we also do, I want to do some Vegas odds topics. I'm just going to kind of give you guys some information that's out there. Currently, this was pre-show. Michigan was -250 to make the Final Four. I thought that was really interesting. That means you have to bet $250 to win 100. So that's not. I'm not saying go put money on that, because I feel like those kind of odds to make a Final Four and win that many games in the tournament, that just shows how good Michigan is.
That's bold.
Outside of what we saw today, they are +130 to win the Big Ten tournament, and they are +360 to win the NCAA tournament. We'll turn it over to MSU basketball. Some odds here. They are +1,000 to make the Final Four, +1,500 to win a Big Ten tournament, and +7,500 to win the NCAA tournament. So if you have $100 laying around and you like Michigan State, put $100 on them, and
honestly,
maybe
not
strike
the worst
gold
bet.
here. Not bad, right? It's really not. But as I like to do is I like to come up with some odds, and I'm not going to lie, this is a segment that I hear once a week or so on a couple stations I like. But they like to come out with some similar odds and which one they would like to pick. So, Carson Anderson, thank you guys for this topic, but we're going to steal it today.
Very nice.
But anyway, so 66-1 odds. You could have MSU winning the NCAA title, Pacers winning the NBA championships, Sadiq Bey winning NBA Rookie of the Year, or David Price winning the NL Cy Young. Obviously, these are out there. They're tough odds. I'm not saying go put money on them. I thought it was interesting. Which one would you take out of those, Ryan?
Oh, very clearly MSU to win the NCAA title. Yeah. Pacers won't win. Sadiq Bey won't win. David Price won't win.
I thought you were going to go towards Sadiq Bey.
No, there are two rookies right now. I mean, LaMelo Ball is crushing it right now for the Hornets right now.
Yeah,
he's going to put bigger numbers. He's got a way higher usage rate. They need him more than the Pistons need Sadiq Bey.
Micah, which one would you take?
I was leaning toward Bay initially.
I was too. No, I'm not.
Not even close, guys.
I don't know. It's Izzo. He's had a couple of nice upsets lately, and it just seems too fitting to not pick MSU.
John, would you lean either way on any of these?
Where does David Price play baseball anymore?
I think he's a Dodger. Is he a Dodger?
Allegedly. He's allegedly a Dodger.
Unless he opts out.
Right.
Again.
So he's in the bullpen.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm actually going to go with Bay. I'm going to say that LaMelo Ball has like some type of watch stealing thing going on in China still. And
Dang, I forgot about that.
I don't know. I just think that's the best pick out there on the board.
I like Sadiq Bey as well. I really do. I think, a couple guys maybe get the COVID, and Sadiq Bey plays every game.
Where'd you get your watch, John?
Puts up some big numbers. I would lean towards Bey, even though Ryan tried talking me out of it. Another one here, 14-1 odds. You got Casey Mize winning AL Rookie of the Year, Bryce Harper, NL MVP, Dayton wins the Atlantic 10 tournament, or Steph Curry wins the NBA MVP. John, I want you to start us off on this one.
Steph Curry, NBA MVP.
Yeah,
he's working with the least amount of support on a team. Golden State is in the playoff push right now, so I think that's worthy
if they could get in, it'll be because of him.
Yeah, he's going to set a record for most threes in the shortest time in the NBA. I think it's overdue.
All right. Right.
That's a really, really good option because everything he just said, and I don't think that our lead candidates right now are crushing it. Giannis is not having the greatest year, and the Bucks aren't either. LeBron, everybody's pushing for him to get an MVP, but he's faded off recently without his sidekick.
Oh yeah,
in there, yeah, and then we're. I don't know. I think the other one is James Harden, but the Nets, I don't think they're very good. And I don't know. We'll see about that one, especially when Kevin Durant comes back.
So you kind of think that the NBA title might come down to a Curry LeBron thing, and is it going to be more of a longevity thing, or actually who is better?
You're talking MVP.
Yeah. What did I say?
Title.
Oh yeah, sorry. MVP.
I think there's a lot of candidates, so Steph Curry makes sense. If they make a really good push in the second half of the season, it would be 100% because of Curry, and he would earn an MVP in that regard. I would personally go with Bryce Harper just because we are not into that season yet, and we have seen a 330, 120 walk, 40 home run season out of him in the past, just one time. But he's done it, so he's capable of doing it again. If he does it again, it would be an amazing season. And he would have to probably beat out Juan Soto or Acuna.
Yeah, Micah, where are you leaning with that?
I'm going with Steph Curry, too.
Ryan, you ready to do the play beer?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with John. I mean, you brought up some good points, and I was kind of leaning towards Mize. I think Mize would be my second option. I like Bryce Harper. I like what Ryan brought up. But I think Mize is going to take my second place.
So you had Curry, Mize, Bryce.
Yep.
I was going to go with Bryce Harper. I agree with Ryan where he's proven to be an MVP at some point. And I don't even think did they make the playoffs last year? I don't think they did.
They did not.
So I mean, if he could come in and tear it up, that could really be a big thing. And that's a ballpark that you can all of a sudden strike gold in, and it'd be good. The ball starts flying.
Not much incentive when you sign him to a 10-year deal, but just saying.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with it.
I agree.
Was it Acuna or no? Who just signed the? Or is it
no,
Tatis?
Harper. I think it was like 10 years.
Yeah, but no.
Oh, Fernando
Tatis,
Tatis Jr. Yeah. What was that? 12 years? 14 years?
15, I think. I think it was 15
gosh.
years. I think he's gonna be a free agent when I'm 48.
He undersold himself,
like that.
man. $340 million is not that much for a guy with that potential 10 years down the road.
Yeah. So the last one that we'll do here
not
is
that much. Listen to me.
7-2 odds. So U of M NCAA title. Marcus Mariota is the next Patriots quarterback. Jazz win the West, or Devonta Smith drafted third overall.
Devontae, man.
Oh,
It's just spelled.
I've heard it both ways. All right, somebody just talk. Ryan, you can do this. You can be prepared to hit that play beer grade read.
Yeah, this is.
I want you to be focused on that after we're done with this.
This is tough. Mariota's a wild card. I have no idea where he's going to be.
Yeah, right. I thought that was interesting.
It's kind of funny, though. I really do like it. The Jazz winning the West, I really think it's likely because of where they've started at this point. And they have a lot of good role players. They're a really good team.
Yeah.
They're going to be hard to beat out West. Devonta Smith, I do think it's either between him and Jamar Chase. I actually think they're going to go Jamar Chase if
so?
they have their preference. But I think there's a better likelihood that they trade out and then it's a quarterback and not the Dolphins picking.
Yeah. No.
So I will go with the Jazz win the West.
All right, I completely agree with you on that one. I think the Jazz, and this is I haven't watched, but from what I've heard, they're a really good team, and they're probably going to win the West at some point this year. So that's where I would go. John, Micah, you guys can fight over who's next.
No, it's all good. I'll take it, John.
Micah won the fight.
No, go ahead. You were going to talk.
Homer, U of M, NCAA title.
Love it. I'm okay with that.
Nicely done.
I just feel like I can just build all my brackets to fit that, and I'll be happy either way. So
John got his amazing blue shirt on.
Oh, he
Very
does.
He just did the Superman with
I
U of M
missed
in the
it.
middle.
All right, Micah.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the rear here, and my pick is going to be Devonta Smith.
I swear
So-
I've heard Devonta.
Dude, I honestly think they need some help in their wide receiving room, and I think Devonta Smith is going to be basically a lock at 3.
They want to pair him with Tua, right?
I
Feels
do
like it.
I do agree with you that Jamar Chase is a heavy favorite also, but I think Devonta Smith is just too good to pass up, and he could be a massive game changer for that team because they put a lot of pieces together this year, and I think they're just missing. Excuse me. I think they're just missing a Devonta Smith, to be honest.
Yeah, the new button.
Sorry,
I can
yeah.
push. It is time to grade our Michigan beers for this episode, but before we do, I want to once again remind everyone of our partner, Siciliano's Market. They are simply the best beer store in West Michigan, located on Lake Michigan Drive, right between Grand Valley State University's main campus in downtown Grand Rapids. Wherever you live in West Michigan, it is worth the short drive for what they have to offer. Whether you know what you want or you need some help from their expert staff, Siciliano's Market is the best place for that. They not only have a massive and up-to-date inventory of the best craft beers from across our great nation, they're individually priced so you can mix and match to build your own six-pack. Along with their great selection of craft beer, they have specialty wines, spirits, ciders, coffee, tea, tobacco, and cigars. They also have the largest selection of homebrew and winemaking supplies in West Michigan. We love that Siciliano's Market is part of the State of My Sports family and is who we visit to help us choose our Michigan beers for each and every episode. So please check them out and let them know that we sent you. Yeah, so Siciliano's Market, great place for beer. Also, Lost Art, so I don't want to give Siciliano's credit completely for the Lost Art that we're all going to be doing. But anyways, yeah, we're the Arvon. But anyways, Ryan, you want to start us off with a beer grade or?
Oh, geez, yeah. Hold on, let me drink some beer so that I can refresh.
You've been moving slow
palate.
with your beer today. You got a long day tomorrow or what?
That's not true. I just moved on to others. I've been
Oh, you
mixing
did?
and
Oh,
matching.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't see that.
All right, guys. So I drank Elephant Juice from Eastern Market Brewing Company. I still don't know where these guys are. Oh, they're in Ferndale, so it is East Side. Yeah, in the Detroit metro area. It's a good beer. It's 7.2%. They've got Citra, Mosaic, Mandarina, and Bavaria hops. Mandarina and Bavaria, I think, is just one hop there, but I threw the "and" in between those two words. So, anyways. It's a good beer. It's really easy to drink. I don't think it has anything that stands out as being exceptional or that stands out from the crowd. But if you're just going for an easy to drink with good flavor, I think it kind of just
Fits
is
that.
the New England IPA. It's a standard New England IPA. They're not going for too much. They're not going for something unique or anything. They just stayed in their lane, and I'm going to give it a 7.8.
7-8. Micah.
Well done. I'm drinking from Arvon Brewing the 2 times Blackberry Double Kettle. It's their kettle sour with a ton of blackberries and a nice level of alcohol. 8%er, easy to drink. It's nice and fruity. I mean, it's seriously packed with fruit. It's not like it's kind of fruity. It's punching you in the tongue. So.
Yeah, they definitely aren't light with the fruits.
No.
And
Classic
that is
Arvon, yeah.
Really good.
So, yeah, if you like a lot of taste to your beer, a lot of flavor, go check out Arvon. They're on Division, in between Franklin and Hull, I believe. They get a nice little quaint spot. If you find the, I think it's the Dollar Tree store, you're going to find Arvon. But great staff. This beer is really, really good. I'm going to go with an 8.1.
8-1.
Yep.
Nice.
You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm not paying attention.
Oh.
Which is what else is new. I'm drinking from Perrin Brewing Company Hard Restart, which I think might be a play on like kind of what this world's at in the state of it. It's like
At
we're
least Michigan,
restarting, and we're gonna go full bore here. It's part of their Side Hustle series. I have a very good feeling since it's a Indian style pale lager. We like we said earlier, we know who's behind this one.
You think that has anything to do with the hard restart too, right? New position, new place, new identity.
For who?
For Eric?
For Eric. Oh yeah,
At
no,
Perrin?
I see.
Hard
what you're
restart?
saying.
He's starting
Sorry,
fresh.
You were very creative there, and I missed it. So, what else is new? Something over my head, right?
It's kind of fact related. It wasn't that creative, but just
But anyways, the Hard Restart, it's brewed with Sapphire and Nelson solvent hops. They expect this lager to have a moderate bitterness with notes of citrus and bright grape acidity on the aroma. Like I said, crafted in Michigan, U.S. As always, it's 6% alcohol by volume. It's in Comstock Park, Michigan. It's a very, very good lager. I would say about a 7.6 for a lager, which is a decent score for me.
which
with my
might be your
lagers.
best
Yeah.
lager. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. There's a really good chance.
Very
We're
nice.
also all drinking something else, Mike.
We are. Tonight we're all drinking the new milkshake series from Lost Art Brewhouse. It is their first fruited beer. brewed at Lost Art. It's their raspberry vanilla milkshake. It's a 7.3%er, and it's a part of their new milkshake series of beers. So I anticipate a ton of new ones coming out within the next 6 to 8 months. Which
I mean, I've never heard of a
I'm
series
excited.
that's a one and done. Actually, the wild card in baseball used to be one and done. So and they call it a series. So sorry.
So
But
he has heard of
Yeah,
it.
make this
several examples.
Make sure this
of
isn't
that.
a MLB wild card series.
So there's
I
a
like the
ton of
can.
raspberries and
called
a
the
ton
short
of
series.
lactose in here. So I think there's a massive trend across the craft beer industry introducing lactose into beers.
Yeah.
I would like to reconnect with Bearded Ed at some point and go over kind of like the technicalities, or go over it with Eric at Perrin.
No, yeah,
But
it'd be awesome.
the smoothness, I think, comes from the lactose, and sometimes they introduce that with vanilla too. But this beer is absolutely divine.
It is. It is
It's
really good.
really
And I
good.
think the can is a piece of art. Like I love, and I'm sure the Lost
Why
Art
do they
had-
Why do they pick such great colors for their?
They
labels?
do an
Because they
unbelievable
wanna
job.
sell.
But the way that they even have, so I don't know if the
Do a
people
good job.
people that are watching, like you have the ice cream sundae type thing, and then like this color is supposed to be like the ice cream. You know what I mean? Like the jar here, or what would you call that? A cup? Jar? I don't
It's
know.
not a jar.
Certainly a cup.
Is it a cup?
Yep.
It's a malt glass.
Malt glass.
Malt
Sorry,
glass.
glass. Yeah, thank you. All right.
Looks like a keg.
It's-
You guys are
Like
just
the-
gonna laugh at me. I'm so glad John's here to help me
the-
through it. You guys just sit there and laugh.
The
Well,
jar-
it's better than saying my milkshake brings all the girls to the
To the
yard.
jars,
That's
yeah.
it.
But we'll just leave that PG.
Jar's the complete opposite
Anyways,
of that. But
the
yeah.
artwork with Lost Art is unbelievable. They do such a great job. It always looks
Uh.
great, and this one is I mean, probably top notch here. I love it. I love the color of the can.
Did we grade
all that
this
stuff.
yet?
We
or
haven't
what?
graded it yet. No.
We should probably
Are
grade
we
it.
all grading it?
Yeah, we're all
For
grading it.
sure.
I'm gonna give it an 8.4. I really like this one. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's sweet. It has good flavor, but it still has the beer. You know, I like the milkshake beer. So Ryan, you're next, so you can be
8.3.
8.3.
I completely agree with you. It's really easy to drink, really tasty. It did its job.
Yeah. Micah.
Nice. 8.5.
8.5. He went. Oh, we got 8.3. 8.4. 8.5. John, I'm putting you on the spot here.
Here he
You're
comes.
not necessarily like into the beer grades yet.
No, this is the first one, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to put too much pressure on you,
hates the
but
sweetness.
we had the 8.3, the 8.4, and the 8.5. You can't do 8.6 or 8.2, but you can do anything else. You can do whatever you want. I don't care.
I'll go with 8.5.
8.5 with
Yeah.
them?
Nice.
I'll
Nice.
just take the median. Is that the median or
No,
low?
it's not. 8.4 would
No,
be.
that was the
The mean.
the
The mean. I'm
that was the
sorry.
me.
Also 8.4.
8.5. Wait, what? No, 8.5 was the height or the highest one.
No, I'm just bad
I
at
mean,
math.
Median would be middle, and a mean would be average, right? Either way, it's 8.4.
8.4. Wait, I thought you said 8.5.
He did, but he said median, and then he changed it to mean. I'm just saying median and mean are both 8.4 in this case for him.
Oh, do you want to change it to 8.4?
No, I'll just leave it at an 8.5.
You know,
I'll take the claim. I'm bad at math.
Oh,
Sam-
I don't know what any of that means.
Bad at definitions, I guess.
Sam better count his blessings.
Yeah.
Kyle wasn't here busting his balls.
I'm sure he will tomorrow. Well, hey, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for recording. Always appreciate it, Ryan, Micah, John. Thank you guys for being here. We'll talk to you guys next week, if not sooner.
Peace out, fellas.
And ladies.
People like to tell me I'm gonna burn out soon, no, maybe worse. Running on coffee and 90 proof. Oh, but I ain't worried about the chorus, or even the second verse.
thank you again to all our great sponsors, the House Brewing Company and Cafe, Siciliano's Market, Mac Web Design. Also, thank you to Paradise Outlaw for allowing us to use their music for our introduction, Detroit Hustle, and for our out 6 feet down.